Hello, I am Flash Isaac and you are welcome to my mathematics class. Today, I shall be taking you through WAEC mathematics past and likely questions. It is no news that a lot of candidates in Nigeria, Ghana, Gambia, Sierra Leone, and other nations taking WAEC find mathematics difficult. This is why I will make this class as simple as possible and as interesting as possible, so that at the end of the class, you'll be able to solve as many mathematics questions as possible in your examination without fear and without favor. For every question I will be solving today, I already have the detailed explanation, subject, topic by topic breakdown in the Flash Learners YouTube channel. Simply check out the Flash Learners YouTube channel. You'll see my mathematics videos as well as other videos for your other subjects. And something else I will recommend is the Flash Learners WAEC app. It is the best and most advanced application to pass WAEC. It contains thousands of WAEC past and likely questions, competition to win a huge amount of money, and from the application, you can watch my videos directly. You see? So get one for yourself on Google Play Store or visit flashlearners.com for both the mobile and desktop version. If you are watching this video on YouTube, you'll see a link below to the applications for your phone and for your laptops. And that is what I will be using in this class, as well as other sources of questions. Here it says we should make M subject formula, and here it says we should solve the inequality. Everything here is lesser than everything here. What do we do? Of course, there is a bracket. Let's open up the bracket. How do we open up the bracket? Here we use 1/3 to multiply everything inside. Here we use 2/5 to multiply everything inside. This is an easy tip. When you are given a fraction and you are using it to multiply any bracket, you simply use only the numerator to multiply. Everything will still be over the denominator, which is, here is 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times minus 3s is minus 3s, everything over 3 is lesser than, here 2 times 3 is 6, minus 2 times 7s, 14s, everything over the denominator, 5. When you are given two fractions separated with equality or inequality sign without any other thing here or any other thing here, you simply cross multiply. How do you cross multiply? You use what is here to multiply what is here, then you put down the sign and use what is here to multiply what is here. This is what I am saying. 5 times everything here is 5. 5 minus 3s is lesser than 3 multiplying everything here is 3. 6 minus 14s. Here we are still opening up the bracket. Now we are not new to opening up brackets. 5 times 5 is 25, so 25. 5 times minus 3s is minus 15s, is lesser than 3 times 6, 18, minus 3 times 14, you have 14, you have 3. 3 times 4, 12, carry 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus the one you carried, 4. So here should give you minus 42s. Collecting like terms, 25 minus 18 is lesser than minus 42s plus 15s. As 18 crosses the inequality sign, it becomes minus 18 to meet 25. And as minus 5s crosses to meet minus 42s, it becomes positive. 25 minus 18, this will give you 7, is lesser than minus 42s plus 15s, that will give you minus 27s. To get s, we divide both sides by minus 27. Remember, in inequality, when you are dividing both sides by a negative number, or you are multiplying both sides by a negative number, the sign will change, which means here becomes 7 over minus 27 is greater than minus 27s over minus 27. We are dividing both sides by a negative number. So this sign from lesser than, it should go to greater than. So s 7 over minus 7 over 27 is greater than s. If minus 7 over 27 is greater than s, it simply means that s is lesser than minus 7 over 27. So that is the correct answer. And the next one, we are making m subject formula. There is m here, there is m here. Everything here is covered by square root. To remove square root in mathematics, you look for the square of both sides, which implies that if I put square here and I put square here, this square will remove this square root. Therefore, k square will become m minus y over m plus 1. By squaring both sides, the square root is gone. Square root is the same thing as times 1 raised to the power of 2. Multiply that by 2, it goes off to 1. From here, this is the same thing as k squared over 1. When you have two fractions separated by equality sign or inequality sign, you cross multiply like I did here. So cross multiplying here, you have k squared m plus 1 is equals m minus y. Look at something. If I have k squared m plus 1, once I open up this bracket, I have k squared m plus k squared times 1 is k squared is equals m minus y. Collecting like terms, since we are interested in m, we pick out the ones with m, the ones without m, they become alike. So k squared m minus m is equals minus y minus k squared. What did I do? I took k squared to the other side, or I can make this work neater by saying k squared plus y is equals m minus k squared m, collecting like terms. So k squared plus y is equals, there is m here, there is m here. We factorize. If we bring out one m divided by m is 1. Here is 1 minus k squared m divided by m. M already removes m. We are left with k squared. So how do we get only m? We divide here by 1 minus k squared, and we divide here by 1 minus k squared. 1 minus k squared divided by 1 minus k squared, m remains the same. So m is equals k squared plus y over 1 minus k squared. We've successfully made m the subject of formula. Find the quadratic equation whose roots are 1 over 2 and minus 1 over 3. We are given a quadratic equation, and we are given the roots of a quadratic equation, and we are asked to find the quadratic equation. When we are given questions like this is a formula we use. S squared minus sum of roots s plus product of roots equals 0. So when you are given roots of quadratic equation, this is the formula: s squared minus sum of roots times s plus product of roots. The roots are 1 over 2 and minus 1 over 3. S squared minus sum of roots is simply 1 over 2 plus minus 1 over 3 times s plus product of roots is simply 1 over 2 times minus 1 over 3. Everything is equals 0. S squared minus, this is 1 over 2 plus minus always wins, minus 1 over 3 s plus, we can just go straight to the point here. 1 times minus 1 is minus 1 over 2 times 3 is 6. So is equal to 0 minus 1 over 6. S squared minus the LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. If you don't understand how the LCM of 2 and 3 is 6, I have a common entrance playlist. Go there and watch my common entrance videos. I have videos there that teaches you how to find LCM. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3 minus 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. So times S plus. Here already, plus times minus. Minus always wins. So here becomes minus 1 over 6 is equals 0. S squared minus 3 minus 2, that's 1, of course. 1 over 6. S minus 1 over 6 is equals 0. So S squared minus opens up the bracket, minus always wins. So minus 1 over 6 S minus 1 over 6 is equals 0. Now to remove the fraction, we can choose to multiply everything by 6. If you multiply everything by 6, this one becomes 6S squared minus 6 times 1 over 6 is 1. So S remains minus 6 times 1 over 6, 1 remains. So this is minus 1 is equals 0. So the quadratic equation whose roots are 1 over 2 and minus 1 over 3 is this. You can confirm by solving this quadratic equation. You will get these roots. Given that S is directly proportional to Y, S is directly proportional to Y. This is proportionality symbol, and inversely proportional to Z, and inversely proportional to Z. S is directly proportional to Y. S is inversely proportional to Z. When you combine them, you get S is directly proportional to Y and inversely proportional to Z. This is referred to as joint variation. Now they said S is 15 and Y is equal to 10. Find, and Z is equals 4. Find. So they already gave us this and they said find S, Y, and Z. So equation. We are looking for the equation connecting S, Y, and Z. What is variation? Variation simply deals or studies how things depend on others. For example, if the salary of your parents increase, you will enjoy, your enjoyment will increase. But if your parents get fired from work, it will affect you directly. So that is direct variation. Now, if government increases fuel or decide to tax companies, the companies are paying more, so the cost of production will increase. Indirectly, you'll be paying high price to get the goods you normally get. So it affects you indirectly, or one or two ways it affects you somehow. So we have direct variation, we have inverse variation, and we have joint variation, we have partial variation. For direct variation, as one quantity increases, the other one also increases. So like S varies as Y. For inverse, if S varies inversely as Y, it means as S increase, Y will reduce, Z will reduce. As Z increase, S will reduce. So they are inverse. One goes up, one goes down. Y joint can combine two direct variation or direct and inverse. Then partial is keeping one constant and varying the other, so that at the end it leads to simultaneous equation. Now that we have all this, let's see. We don't solve with proportionality sign in mathematics. You must convert the proportionality symbol to equality symbol. The conversion is simple. This is the same thing as equals K. So instead of this, just put S equals K Y over Z. Simple as that. This is S is equals Ky over Z, where K is constant, it does not change. Now from the first things they gave us S, Y, and Z, which means S is 15 is equals Y is 10, so 10K over Z is 4. over 4. This will simply give you 15 times 4 over 10 is equals k. 5 into 15 is 3. 5 into 10 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So k should be equals 6. Anyhow you choose to solve here, you get k as 6. Follow your method if you don't wish to follow mine. If k is 6, from here, s is equals k y over z. They say we should find s, y, z. In all this formula, the only thing we know is k. We don't know s, we don't know y, we don't know z. Therefore, s is simply 6y over z. That is what we know. That is the equation joining s, y, and z. Equation joining s, y, and z is s is equals 6y over z. Find the equation of line parallel to 2y is equals 3s minus 2. Passing through 2, 3. This is under coordinate geometry. This is under coordinate geometry. Now, we are given, here is S1 and here is Y1. We are asked for equation of line parallel. In coordinate geometry, anytime you are asked to look for the equation of line, you may be asked to look for the equation of line parallel or the equation of line perpendicular. For parallel lines, the gradient of the first line is the same thing as the gradient of the second line. For perpendicular lines, the product of the gradients m1, m2 is equals minus 1. That is it. Now, we are given this first line. 2y is equals 3s minus 6. 2y is equals 3s minus 6. And the pattern for equation of line is y is equals ms plus c. Trying to compare to this one, y is equals ms plus c. Here is 2y. We need to change it to y so that it rhymes with this one. Therefore, dividing throughout by 2, here becomes over 2, over 2, over 2. The equation of line becomes y is equals 3 over 2s minus 3. Now, compared to y is equals ms plus c. You agree with me that y is y, m is 3 over 2, and c is equals minus 3. M is the gradient, and this is gradient of the first line. Since they said that the lines are parallel, it means the gradient of the second line is equals 3 over 2 as well. If the lines were perpendicular, it would have been m1, which is 3 over 2, times m2 to be equals minus 1. m2 would have been minus 1 times 2 over 3 to be minus 2 over 3. So this would have been the gradient of the second line if they were perpendicular. But since they are parallel, this is the same thing as the gradient of the second line. Then look at the equation of line. It is y minus y1 is equals m s minus s1. So we can use this formula for equation of line where m is gradient. Now gradient is slope. Gradient is also y2 minus y1 over s2 minus s1. We don't need to follow this formula to get gradient because we already have the gradient. Therefore, y minus y1 is equals 3 over 2 s minus s1. The good news for us is that for the second line, we have s1 and y1. Therefore, y minus y1 is 3 is equals 3 over 2 s minus s1 is 2. This simply gives you y minus 3 is equals 3 over 2s minus 6 over 2. Y minus 3 is equals 3 over 2s minus 3. So look at something. If y minus 3 is equals 3 over 2s minus 3. Taking 3 to the other side, y is simply 3 over 2s minus 3 plus 3. This is simply y is equals 3 over 2s plus 0. So y is 3 over 2s is simply the equation of line. For which value of s will the expression 5s plus 3 over 6s s plus 1 be undefined? Now, any number divided by 0, the answer will be undefined. For this expression to be undefined, remember, expression is different from equation. If I say 5s plus 3, this is an expression. If I say 5s plus 3 is equals 0, this is an equation because there is equality sign. If I say 5s plus 3 is greater than 0, this is inequality. Now, for this expression to be undefined, 6s s plus 1 must be equals 0, which implies that 6s must be equals 0 or s plus 1 must be equals 0. Because in quadratic equation, once you have something like this, this is equals 0 or this one is equals 0. Or you say 6 times s, 6s times s, 6s squared plus 6s is equals 0. This is something that 6s squared plus 6s plus 0 is equals 0. So a squared plus b squared, as squared plus bs plus c is equals 0. So you can solve this quadratic equation to get the values of s1 and s2. But from here, s is equals 0 or s is equals minus 1. So they are the value of s for which this is undefined. If 101 base 2 plus 12 base y is equals 23 base 5, find y. That is the question. If 101 base 2 plus 12 base y is equals 23 base 5, find y. You will see questions like this often. You are simply asked to add in number bases. This is 101 in base 2. This is 12y base y. This is in base 5. Look at something. If I say 2 plus 8, you will simply tell me that 2 plus 8 is 10. If I ask you, what is 5 plus 6? You will simply say 5 plus 6 is 11. Why? Because in our day-to-day counting, we assume base 10 or decimal or denary. There are other number bases to consider. Now, when this is in base 3 and this is in base 10 or 9, 2 plus 8 is no longer 8. You simply make sure that they are in the same base to be able to give a straight answer. Since this guy is in base 2, this guy is in base y, and this guy is in base 5, to find the value of y or to find the accurate value of y, we need to make sure that they are all in the same base. To be on the safer side, let us convert each of these values to base 10. And how do you convert to base 10? 101 base 2 or TWO is equals, write 1, put a space, write 0, then space 1, which means we've written out the numbers. The number is in which base? Base 2. Write 2, write 2 in front of 0, write 2 here. What next? Multiply the number and the base. You have 1 here and base 2. So 1 times 2. 0 base 2. 0 times 2. 1 base 2. 1 times 2. What next? Add them. So 1 times 2 plus 0 times 2 plus. After this, be happy because you've done something. You've tried. Step 3. 2, 2, 2. This is the base. Start from this end. On top of the first base, put 0. On top of the second base, put 1. And on top of the third one, put 2. If we have more, you keep increasing it. Remember, the values should be on top of the bases. If here were to be 2, let's say 2 for example, which is not possible, you will not put any number on top of the 2 because this is a normal 2, not the base. In base 2, the maximum number you can get is 1, 0 and 1. If you are counting in base 3, the maximum number you can get is 2. In base 3, you have 0, 1 and 2. In base 4, the maximum number you can get is 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Now, we count in base 10. This is why the maximum number we can have is 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Base 10. Every other number are combination of these values. If you say 10, it is simply 1 and 0. That is it. Let's not forget that we are converting 101 base 2 to base 10. This will simply be 1 times 2 raised to the power of 2 is 4 plus 0 times 2 raised to the power of 1 is 2. So 0 times 2 plus 1 times 2 raised to the power of 0 is 1. Any meaningful number raised to the power of 0 will give you 1. Here is 1. If you are somebody that is very neat, you don't like stress, you want your work to be neat, you can put this one in brackets, put here, to show that it is simply the number times the base, the second number times the base, and the third number times the base. It is correct. If you are still so neat, you can still do here like this, do here like this. But if it is an objective question, just be as fast as possible. We don't care about neatness, but for theory, you can do that. And in theory, you simply state your steps. It is very, very important. Here, you see that since they are in different bases, let's convert all of them to base 10. Then on top of here, you say converting 101 base 2 to base 10, then you start solving. This is 101, not 101. In base 2, the highest number is 1. You don't even have 100. And if I say, what is 1 plus 1? 1 plus 1 in base 2 is simply 10, not 10. Base 2 is not up to 10. So 1 times 4 is 4, plus 0 times 2 is 0, plus 1 times 1 is 1. So we have 4 plus 0 plus 1. This is 5 base 10. We successfully converted this to base 10, which means if I give you 5 in base 10 and ask you to convert to base 2, you get 101. How do you convert from base 10 to other bases? Since this is how we convert from other bases to base 10. If this is in base 10, 5, and you are asked to convert to base 2, what you simply do is keep dividing by 2 and writing down the remainder. 5 divided by 2 is 2, remainder 1. What else? We start 2 again, you keep dividing with 2 since you are converting to base 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, remainder 0. Then 2 again. 1 divided by 2 is 0, it won't work. So the 1 remains, remainder 1. Then from down to up, you have 1, 0, 1, base 2. So you've converted from base 10 to base 2. If we are converting 5 from base 10 to base 3, you keep dividing by 3, putting down the remainder until it can't divide. Then you put 0, remaining the number that is here. This is not part of the solution. I am just trying to explain. And also know that the reason it's taking time is because I am trying to explain to you in details. If it were your main exam, then and you are not explaining to someone, since you would have been done with this question. Look at something. Let's convert this guy to base 10. So converting 12 base y. How do we convert? So 12 is in base y. We say 1, 2. We multiply each of them by the base. 1 times y, then 2 times y, just like we did here. Then you add. On top of this first base, put 0. On top of the second one, put 1. Therefore, 1 times y is y plus y raised to the power of 0 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2, y plus 2. Therefore, 12 base y, the answer is y plus 2. You cannot add letter and number. A plus 2 is a plus 2. B plus 2 is b plus 2. You can't say 2b or 2y. If we are multiplying, y times 2 is 2y, but y plus 2 remains y plus 2. So this is the answer we've gotten here. This is in base 10. 10 or TEN. Now let's convert 23 base 5 to base 10. So converting 23 base 5. This is simply 2 and 3. Then multiply the base. 2 times 5, 2 times 5, plus 3 times 5, 3 times 5. Then you put 0 here, 1. Then continue, but it ends here. 5 is the power of 1 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 3 times 5 is the power of 0 is 1. 3 times 1 is 3. So this is simply 13 base 10. When you convert 23 base 5 to base 10, it will simply be 13. Not really 13, 1, 3. Yes. This is 23 base 5, not 23 base 5. Please take note of that. 101 base 2, 12 base y, 23 base 5. Forgive my mistakes. From here, food is ready. We are good to go. We can create a space here. 101 has been changed to base 10 to be 5 plus 12 base y is now y plus 2 base 10. So y plus 2 equals 23 base 5 is 13 base 13 base 10. It's in base 10, we can say 13. This is 5 plus times y plus y. You use plus to open up the bracket, because if here we are minus, here we also turn to minus. So be careful of sign. Y plus times plus 2 is equals 13. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus y is equals 13. Collecting like terms, plus y is equals 13. As 7 goes to the other side, 7 becomes minus. So minus 7. Y is simply equals 6. So the value of y is 6. That is the answer to this question. An amount of 550,000 naira was realized when a principal S was saved at 2% simple interest for 5 years. Find the value of S. They said at 2% simple interest for 5 years. They said amount of 550,000 naira. And they said principal S, amount thousand naira, principal P is S, rate is 2%. In simple interest or compound interest, when you are given percent, there is high chance that it speaks about rate, and time is 5 years. We are told to find the value of S, which means find the principal. From simple interest formula, we know that simple interest is equals principal times rate times 10 over 100. Are we given the simple interest? No. Are we given principal? Yes, S, but we need to convert it to a meaningful value. Are we given rate? 2, yes. Are we given time? 5 years. Correct. Now let's do something. Interest is equals principal S times rate 2 times time 5 over 100. Now, when you see questions like this, the first thing that will come to your mind is taking 550,000 as your principal. It is not your principal. They said it is amount. Amount is different from principal. In fact, amount is equals principal plus interest. That is the formula for amount. We are given amount, we are not given interest, and we are given principal to be S. From here, interest is equals 2 times 5 is 10, 10 times S is 10S, so 10S over 100. Interest is equals 10 divided by 100, that's S over 10. This is interest. So we have amount, we have interest, and we have principal. Amount is 550,000 naira. This equals principal is S plus interest is S over 10, which we can say 0.1 S. 550,000 naira is equals 1.1 S. 550,000 naira is equals 1.1 S. Here over 1.1, here over 1.1. 1.1 divided by 1.1 is S. 550,000 naira divided by 1.1 is the same thing as 500,000 naira. Or from here, from 550,000 naira equals S plus S over 10. You can choose to multiply throughout by 10. When you multiply here by 10, 1 0 will be added. So you have 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1 0 is equals 10S plus S. 10 times 10S over 10 is S. From here, you simply have 550,000, no, which is 5.5 million right now, is equals 11S. To get S, you divide here by 11, you divide here by 11. 55 divided by 11 is 5. So that is 500,000 naira. S is equals 500,000 naira. So the value of S is 500,000 naira, and that is the principal. If S is equals 3, S is equals 3, and Y is equals 1, find 2 S squared minus Y raised to the power of 3. That is the question. If S is 3 and Y is equals 1, find 2 in brackets S squared minus Y raised to the power of 3. This is simply a substitution question. It means anywhere you see S, put 3, and when you see Y, put 2. This becomes 2 instead of S, 3 squared minus instead of Y, 1 raised to the power of 3. This will give you 3 raised to the power of 2 is 3 times 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 1 raised to the power of 3 is 1. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. So 1 raised to the power of 3, 1. 2. 9 minus 1 is 8. And 2 times 8 is 16. So when you substitute, you simply get 16. We are asked to solve this equation. The first one is 3s minus 2y is equals 10. Then 3s plus 3y is equals 7. We are to solve these equations together. This is referred to as simultaneous equation. When you are given two equations to solve, we have two variables, s and y. When we are given a simultaneous equation to solve, the first thing you do is try to number the equation. Here is 3s minus 2y equals 10. Call this equation 1. S plus 3y is equals 7. Call this equation 2. Then the next thing is you choose the method you wish to use to solve the equation. You can either solve this simultaneous equation using graphical method substitution method or elimination method. If you are solving this simultaneous equation using elimination method, in fact, I will use the two methods. I will do substitution here, and here I will use the elimination method. This is what we do in substitution method. Now, I did this myself. They will say solve the equations, or solve the simultaneous equation, or solve this equation simultaneously, this and this. You simply write out the equations, then you label them. You call this equation 1 and you call this equation 2. Using substitution method, you look at equation 1 and equation 2. Which one is easier to make a particular variable subject formula? In equation 1, you have 3x minus 2y is equals 10. In equation 2, you have x plus 3y equals 7. Here, it is easier to make s subject formula, which is from equation 2, s plus 3y is equals 7. Making s subject formula, s simply becomes 7 minus 3y. Simple. Then you call this equation 3. What next? You substitute. This is why it is referred to as substitution method. From equation 2, we are able to get s to be 7 minus 3y. Now, this value of s, put it in equation 1. Anywhere you see s, replace it with 7 minus 3y in equation 1. And replacement is referred to as what? Substitution. Hence, it is referred to as substitution method. So, for equation 1 is 3s minus 2y equals 10. Now, instead of 3s, it is now 7 minus 3y minus 2y equals 10. We've substituted successfully. What next? Let us open up the bracket. Opening up this bracket, 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times minus 3y is 9. 9y minus 9y minus 2y is equals 10. 21 minus 9y minus 2y is minus 11y. What does it mean? Minus 9y means you are owing 9y. Minus 2y means since you love owing, you went ahead to borrow another 2y. Owing, borrow equals borrow. So minus 9y minus 2y is minus 11y. Y minus 11, you are still owing. It is not for you. This is equals 10. The next thing we should do here is collect like terms. This is a single number 21, but this one has y. This is 10, no y. So this and this are alike, while this one is different. So let's bring the ones that are alike together and the different one to the other side. Then 21 is already here. Here is 10 plus 10. If 10 comes here, crosses the equality sign, it becomes minus 10. So this is minus 10 equals, here is minus 11y. It is negative. If minus 11y crosses equal to sign to go to the other side, it becomes plus 11y. What have we done? We've collected like terms. The terms or the numbers without y on one side, the ones with y on the other side. Now, some persons or somebody may be asking, why did you not take minus 11y to the other side? Or why did you not bring 10 to this side and take minus 11y to the other side? Or why did you not take 21 to the other side to meet 10? Well, we can as well do that. That will be minus 11y is equals 10 minus 21. Because as positive 21 crosses to the other side, it becomes minus 21. So, if you choose to do it this way, or you choose to do it this way, you will still get the same answer. I choose to do it both ways because I don't want you to cram when it comes to mathematics. I want you to understand. Just know how the whole stuff works. You'll be happier that way. From here, 21 minus 10, that is 11, I guess. So 11 is equals 11y. Now, if you are using this place, minus 11y is equals 10 minus 21. You have 10 and you borrowed 21. Once you pay back the 10, you still be owing 11. So 10 minus 21 is minus 11, not 11 minus 11, because 10 is smaller than minus 21. 10 is smaller than 21. So 10 minus 21 is minus 11. So here, to get y, let's divide both sides by 11. Y divided 11 divided by 11, we have y. 11 divided by 11, 1. So from here, to get y, let's divide both sides by minus 11. Minus 11 divided by minus 11 is 1, giving us 1y equals minus 11 divided by minus 11 is 1. Minus minus plus 11 divided by 11 is 1. So anyhow you do it, y is equals 11. In simultaneous equation, we are not just looking for y, we are looking for s and y. That is why it is simultaneous equation. But from equation 3, we are told that s is equals 7 minus 3y, which means s is equals 7 minus 3 times. What is y? 1. Y is 1. So instead of y, you put 1 here. Therefore, s is equals 7 minus 3 times 1. 3 times 1 is 3. 7 minus 3, is that 4? Yes. So s is equals 4. The solution to this equation is y is equals 1, s is equal to 4. Now, let me use elimination method. Elimination method has to do with eliminating one variable in the early stage. You can choose to eliminate s or choose to eliminate y. If you are removing s, then the value of s here and s here must be the same. If you are removing y, the value of y here and y here must be the same. Now, let me choose to eliminate s. So eliminating s, you ask yourself, what can you do to make s here and s here the same? Here is 3s, so you can choose to make here 3s as well. What would that be? If I say equation 1 times 1 and equation 2 times 3, this is what will happen. When I use 1 to multiply equation 1 will remain the same to give you 3s minus 2y equals 10. You call this equation 3. If I use 3 to multiply equation 2, 3 times s is 3s. 3 times 3y is plus 9y equals 3 times 7 is 21. This is equation 4. So I use 1 to multiply equation 1 throughout, and I use 3 to multiply equation 2 throughout. What happens? You have 3s here, you have 3s here. So they are the same. And why did you multiply by everything? In equations, anything that happens to the right hand side must happen to the left hand side. This is what makes equation balanced. After this step, simply do like this. What can you do to eliminate them? Subtract. If you subtract 3s minus 3s, you are left with 0. We've eliminated. How about here? Remember, we are subtracting. So here will simply be minus 2y minus plus 9y plus 9y. So this will simply be minus 2y minus times plus is minus 9y. Minus 2y minus 9y, that is minus 11y. So here is minus 11y is equals, then here is 10 minus 21. 10 minus 21 is minus 11. So we have minus 11y is equals minus 11. Dividing here by minus 11 and dividing here by minus 11. Minus 11 divided by minus 11 is 1y is equals minus 11 divided by minus 11 is 1. So y is equals 1. Now that you have the value of y as 1, in any of the equations, put y as 1. So let's use equation 1. Equation 1 is 3s minus 2y is equals 10. If you decide to put y as 1, this will be 3s minus 2 times 1 instead of y is equals 10. 3s minus 2 is equals 10. 3s is equals 10 minus, okay, this is plus 2 here. As plus 2 move to the, as minus 2 move to the other side, it becomes plus 2. So 3s is equals 12. Dividing both sides by 3, s is equals 4. You see? So y is equals 1, s is equals 4. Y is equals 1, s is equals 4. Anyhow you do it, you get the same answer. Another thing you may be thinking right now is, how about we eliminate y? What will happen? Trust me, I'm a teacher who wants you to understand everything. Let's do it that way. I want to eliminate y. I need to make the value of y here and the value of y here the same. So what should I do? If I say equation 1 times 2 and equation 2, if I say equation 1 times 3 and equation 2 times 2, this is what will happen. This is equation 1, I multiply it by 3. Equation 2, I multiply it by 2. 3 times 3s is 9s. 3 times minus 2y is minus 6y equals 3 times 10 is 30. Call this equation 4. Equation 3. 2 times equation 2. 2 times s is 2s. 2 times plus 3y is plus 6y equals 2 times 7, 14. Call this equation 4. Why? I know that using 3 to multiply equation 1 throughout and using 2 to multiply equation 2 throughout, here will be 6 and here will be 6. So you can use any number to multiply them. So long here and here will have the same value, then you are fine. Just like here, I used 1 to multiply equation 1 throughout so that 3 will remain. Then use 3 to multiply equation 2 so that here becomes 3. Both of them will be similar. Now that we have 6y and 6y here, we eliminate. In this case, we subtracted. Here, if you subtract, what will happen? You have minus 6y minus plus 6y. This will be minus 6y plus times minus is minus 6y. Minus 6y minus 6y is minus 12y. You've not been able to eliminate. So whenever the signs are different, you add. When the signs are the same, they are positive, you subtract. Once again, the ones you are eliminating, when their signs are the same, you subtract. When they have different signs, you add. Because adding numbers with different signs, equal numbers with different signs, they will cancel out. So adding 9s plus 2s is 11s minus 6y plus 6y. Minus 6y means you are owing 6y, plus 6y means you pay 6y. What will be remaining is 0. They are not owing you, you are not owing somebody nothing. So it is 0. So here becomes plus 0 is equals, since we are adding 30 plus 14, this will give you 44. We are left with 11s is equals 44. Dividing both sides by 11, 1s is equals 44. Is equals 4. Because 44 divided by 11 is 4. So we've gotten s to be 4. Now, substitute the value of s in any of the equations. Let's use equation 2. S plus 3y is equals 7. If we've chosen s to be 4, so 4 plus 3y is equals 7. 3y is equals 7 minus 4, collecting like terms. 3y is equals 3. Dividing both sides by 3, y is equals 1. So anyhow you choose to do it, you get the same answer. If you are given a graph, you just plot the graph, simply substitute into each of the values in the graph, you still get the same answer. So I hope you found this helpful. Given that one of the angles is 168 degrees, 168 degrees times the number of sides is the same thing as sum of interior angle. Because if you multiply one of the angles by the number of sides of the polygon, you get the sum of the interior angles. If you don't know before, know right now. When you are given one of the angles of a regular polygon and asked to find the number of sides, you simply multiply the angle by number of sides, then equate it to this formula. A polygon with 3 sides, that's triangle, 4 sides, quadrilateral, 5 sides, pentagon, 6 sides, hexagon, 7 sides, heptagon, 8 sides, octagon, 9 sides, nonagon, 10 sides, decagon. So from here, 168 n degrees is equals 180 n minus 360, because 180 times 2 is 360. Collecting like terms, or let me say taking minus 360 to this side and 168 degrees to this side, we simply have 360 is equals 180 n minus 168 n. Now look at something. 360 is equals 180 n minus 168 n. That should give you 12 n. So n is equals 360 divided by 12. 2 here, 180. 2 here, that should give you 6. 2 here is 90. 2 here is 3. 90 divided by 3, that should be 30. So the number of sides is equals 30. What is the name of a polygon with 30 sides? That is your assignment. And the next one says, find the sum of the interior angles of a pentagon. Wow. Pentagon is a regular polygon, and we are told that the sum of the interior angles of a regular polygon is n minus 2 times 180. And for pentagon, n is 5. So it is simply 5 minus 2 times 180. That should give you 540 degrees, if I am correct. So you may want to check that out. We've answered that question. And look at this. A bus contains 12 identical balls. A bus contains 12 balls. 5 are red, 4 blue. The rest green. Find the probability that a ball picked at random is green. If we have 12 balls in the bag, if 5 of them are red, 4 are blue, the other ones will simply be green. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 minus 12 is 3, which means the rest is equals 3, and they are green. The probability of choosing green is simply the number of green balls over the total number of balls in the bus, which is 12. So that should give you 3 over 12 is 1 over 4. The probability of picking a green ball is 1 over 4. Now look at this question. I love this question. It is under polynomial. It says if s plus 2 is a factor of s squared plus ps minus 10, what is the value of p? Factor and remainder theory states that if s plus 2 is a factor of this guy, it simply means that if you substitute s is equals minus 2 into here, the answer will be 0. Because for s minus 2, it simply means that s plus 2, it simply means that s plus 2 is 0. If s plus 2 is 0, s is simply equals minus 2. So when you substitute that here, you get 0, meaning s squared plus ps minus 10 is equals 0 if s is equals minus 2. So putting s as minus 2 squared plus minus 2p is minus 10 is equals 0. 4 minus 2p minus 10 is equals 0. Minus 2p is equals 10 minus 4. Minus 2p is equals 6. Minus 2p over minus 2, p is equals minus 3. So the value of p is minus 3. Now looking at this, wow, I have up to 500 more, that should be more than 500 more questions unanswered, and plus thousands of questions in the Flat Learners application. Ladies and gentlemen, I will have to stop here. If you want more, check out the Flat Learners Mathematics playlist and other videos. You get everything that you need, or I highly recommend that you get the Flat Learners WAEC application for more questions. You really find it more than helpful on Play Store or flatlearners.com, or the link in the YouTube description. Let me know how you feel about this. Thank you.